Welcome back, students. Let's resume our discussion on trigonometric functions. We went through some limit problems. Now this time let's work on the derivative problems. Derivative of sine is cosine. Derivative of cosine is negative sine. And then there are more trig formulas. Okay, these are the formulae that we'll have to use, and looks like this is going to be a product rule, that's going to be a quotient rule, and that too is going to be a quotient rule. Looks like all three are challenging. Well, let's go. First, let's rewrite this problem in terms of power form, because 2 over radical, that's a little bit difficult to deal with. So let's go ahead and rewrite this whole thing like this. 2, and then this one is x to the negative 5 halves power. Why negative? Because it's in denominator. Why 5? Because we already have fifth power there to begin with. Why 2? Because of the square root. If this had been different radical, say fourth power, we would have 4 there. Let's see. Further simplification with this 2. Yes, let's rewrite it like this. Okay, just a simplification. Is everything correct? I guess so, and let's now move on. What do we have? We have a product of two functions here, so derivative will be in product form. U prime v plus u v prime. That's the structure. So what we're going to need is the derivative here times the second function v and then the first function times the derivative. That's the structure of the problem. Now, experienced students will just put those derivatives in right here directly, but let's pretend that I'm not, and let's slow down with this dot dot dots, and then let's do the same thing in the next step. Okay, the structure of the product rule is done, and we are taking the derivative of this at its place. 6x plus multiply 5, excuse me, I clicked the wrong key, 5x to the, subtracting 1 from the power, negative 7 halves. That's what I get from this derivative computation. So that's u prime. Okay, how about v prime here? We have this 3/2 log of x, so 3/2, and then 1 over x, 2, and then what's the derivative of tangent function? Looks like that completes our problem. Let's see, is that what we get? Yes, that's correct. How about the next problem? Looks like no further simplification is necessary, so let's just go with this. And then let's just take the structure of the quotient rule. The denominator squared, and surely I'm gonna need bigger font, and then the numerator is u prime v minus u v prime. Experienced students will just put those in right away, but let's pretend I'm not one of them, and then I'll just copy and paste in the next step after slowing down a little bit with this dot dot dot. Okay, let's put in the derivative u prime and v prime respectively. Derivative of the numerator u prime, we have 2x plus, what's the derivative of sine? That's u prime, and then u v prime. What's the derivative of tangent? Looks like that completes the problem. Okay, that completes it. How about the next problem? This is certainly going to be more challenging. As you can see, this is more complicated. Numerator, not too bad. Denominator, oh, it's much worse, because denominator has another product there. Let's work this one out. From the structure of the quotient rule, it's conspicuous that we get denominator squared. And then the numerator is u prime v minus u v prime. Let me expand the font. Tentatively, I'm using brackets to denote the place where the derivative will go, and parentheses for just copying and pasting. U prime v minus u v prime. Copy and pasting. Okay, here we go. That's for u prime and v, and then this is u and then v prime. Okay, alright. I could have put something in directly, but I decided not to. I decided to slow down. And then let's calculate the derivative of the numerator here, and then the derivative of denominator here as separate new problems. Let's go. How about the derivative of the numerator? Derivative of 3y squared, that's 6y. That wasn't too bad. 2 tangent of y, so 2 secant squared of y, and that completes u prime. Next, v prime, this is gonna be a problem. Sine of y, okay, that derivative is cosine of y. And then what do we have? We have the derivative of this y squared cosine of y. This is gonna be another product rule here. The product rule for this part. I could have just done it here, but I decided to slow down like this. And then let's consider this derivative here. Derivative of the first function times the second function, u prime v plus u v prime. Looks like this. u prime v plus u v prime. Derivative of cosine is negative sign, and of course you can take this negative sign out and simplify a little bit, but personally I wouldn't bother. I already have parentheses here, so I don't need separate multiplication symbol, and I'll consider this as the final answer. Wow, it was tough because you had to use quotient rule first, and then number of trigonometric functions, and then product rule. Okay, the other problems will require chain rules, so not for this module. Okay, let's stop here. This was a one long video clip, and the other problems in separate videos.